As discussed, we would be studying exponents and roots, continuing from the last week's class. Last week, Sunday, we had this class. We will be sending the recording link of the last week's class in the chat. Okay, so we start. So welcome to the parents, welcome to the children, to the 25th webinar of educational initiatives. Today, we are going to talk about exponents and roots at the next level. I have a request with all the parents who are out there to kindly spend 60 minutes of today's evening with your children to understand how are they learning online. It would be a great help. What we're going to do today, we are going to talk a little bit about educational initiatives. We'll learn exponents where Jayanti ma'am, who's the teacher, she would be talking about exponents, 3 topics. We'll have a quiz for parents. So parents, please, you also pay attention to the entire class. We'll understand the uniqueness of MindSpark Live class. And of course, we'll answer any questions that you have. So today we have Jayanti Das Gupta as the teacher. She's MPhil in mathematics. She has worked as academic head. She has worked as head of department in various schools for mathematics. She has around 20 years of teaching experience along with online teaching, curriculum development, school support. Jayanti ma'am, a warm welcome to you in today's webinar.
Thank you, Anshuman. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, parents and students, for joining us today evening. I have spent around 20 years in school education, various departments, and for last 5 years, I'm working with education initiatives. I head the academic team of EI. Now, about education initiative, it's a 20-year-old research organization with a vision of creating a world where children are learning with understanding. We are present in more than 19 countries and work with more than 10 lakh students. We have 5 billion student responses, and it helps us to understand the personal learning trajectory of each student. MindSpark, which is a learning tool, has helped more than 10 lakh students to become self-learners. We also have conducted more than 1 crore assessments for last 20 years. So this is about EI, Anshuman.
So EI has been, as Jayanti ma'am told, be working with the students across the world to make learning more enjoyable so that students can learn with understanding. So Jayanti ma'am, we are on the second part of the exponents and the roots. And in our discussions, we have found that it's a very important topic. So would you tell us why exponents and root is such an important topic in mathematics?
So exponents, like we were discussing last Sunday also, it's one of the operators of used in mathematics, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. In fact, simplification word when we use in mathematics, exponents is an important tool to simplify any mathematical statement.
Correct. So children understand, if we have a look, exponents is going to be the journey, part of the entire learning journey of mathematics for you, starting from grade 7 till the time you are studying. So please understand, it is not just a chapter that will start in grade 7 or 8 and will end. After that, there'll be no use. A lot of use of exponents. So please pay attention to what Jayanti ma'am is going to teach today. So ma'am, without further delay, I hand over to you and would request you if you could teach us all that we need to know in exponents today.
Yes, Anshuman. Thank you. Let me share my screen.
Sure, ma'am. Children, I hope you've got your notebooks and your pens with you.
Right, my screen is visible. So
Yes,
last week we have done we defined what is an exponent, and we saw how to write an exponent, what is a notation, and very important concept of negative exponent and zero exponents. And also we touched upon laws of exponents. So today we are going to revise these 3 again a bit and then start with exponent of rational numbers. And how do we write a number in standard form? With simplification of exponential expressions. So let me just start off with the definition. I would always like to start any class by defining the purpose of the class. Again, revisiting what we have done, exponent refers to a number of times a number is multiplied by itself. So repeated multiplication is represented with exponents. Again, I'm reiterating, it's a special type of mathematical operator, same like addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And it is denoted by a base number and an exponent. So this is a base and this is an exponent. And this whole together is known as power. So do not use power and exponent colloquially. They are not same. They are different, right? Okay. Also, I would like to start today's class by again revisiting laws of exponents, because I think today when we will be solving questions, we'll be using many of these laws.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
let's start
Absolutely.
with the laws of exponents, right? The first law is known as the product law, wherein two powers are multiplied. A to the power of x into a to the power of y is a to the power of x plus y. That means when bases are same and they are multiplied, we add the powers. We add the exponent. Let me give you an example. So suppose 2 to the power of 4 into 2 to the power of 3. If these are multiplied, then when base is same, we add both the powers and we write 2 to the power of 7. So this is known as the product law of exponents. Now let's understand the quotient law. Same example, 2 to the power of 4 divided by 2 to the power of 3. So when there is division sign in between two powers, what do? We subtract. So 2 to the power of 4 minus 3. Right? This is known
Right,
as a
ma'am.
quotient. The next is called the power law, and that's a very important law. Sorry.
Ma'am, your screen is not
Yeah.
visible right now.
I'll again share.
So children
Sorry.
understand, the point here is the bases need to be same. Hope you remember there is a base and then there is an exponent. So all these laws till
Is my
now,
screen
what
visible now?
not really, ma'am. It's coming up. I think you need to start.
Yeah,
that
it's
again.
coming.
Yes,
Little
it's
slow.
visible.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
visible, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So children, as I was talking, the
Right.
bases need to be same about
Yeah.
whatever ma'am has told. Ma'am, please, let's go ahead.
The next one is a power law, and it's a very important. This is a multiplication law. A to the power of x whole to the power of y is a to the power of x into y. Now we multiply the powers. Now let us use the same thing. 2 to the power of 4 whole to the power of 3. So what do we do in this case? We multiply the powers. 2 to the power of 4, 3. So that is 2 to the power of 12.
So
And then, yeah,
children,
yes,
please, ma'am, I would want to draw attention of the children towards the difference between product law and power law.
yeah.
Please have a look. There's a difference between product law and power law. Yes, ma'am. Let's go ahead.
And then zero exponent. Any number raised to the power of 0 is always 1. Suppose I write 2 to the power of 0, it is 1. 1 to the power of 0 is 1. Right? We will not see what is 0 power 0 because it is undefined. So we'll not discuss it now. Not that it does not have a proof, but in higher mathematics, there is a proof to 0 power 0 also. Right?
Right.
The next is the negative exponent. Any number, suppose 2 to the power of minus 3, which is raised to the power negative exponent, then it becomes a reciprocal. 1 by 2 to the power of 3. That is 1 by 8. Right? So let me again go through. So we have learned what is product law, quotient law, power, zero exponent, and negative exponent. These are very important laws of exponents that we need to remember. Now let us, I would like children to do this question using these laws. Take out your paper, pencil, and start solving this question.
So children, have a look at the question. This question is a revision question of the laws of exponents. Please solve it. I will start a poll and you need to answer into that. Please don't try and answer anything into the chat box. I'll give you 1 minute to solve this question, and your time starts now. Okay, so I'm going to start the poll. Please put your answers in the poll if you have solved the question. Everybody has to answer that. Kindly mark your question into the poll. Remember the laws of exponent, solve it. Okay. 30 more seconds for the poll. Come on, children, answer it. Being right or wrong is secondary. Attempting the question is the most important thing. Parents, I would request, please don't help your children if you are. Last 5 seconds of the poll. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I'm going to share the result. So children, here we see that most common answer that has been given is 2 to the power of 160.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you see the results?
Yeah, I can see the results. Yeah, I have seen my students pointing.
So ma'am, would you
in fact, Anshuman, when this question was asked, even in grade 10th, okay, this was the kind of result that we got.
Oh. Can you please, ma'am, help us solve this question and tell us what is the right answer?
It is 2 to the power of 160. Now, it's very important. Product rule, right? The first rule. Product rule is applied only when there is multiplication symbol between the numbers.
Yeah.
Right? So we cannot use product rule here. We have to go back using that multiplication is repeated addition. So a simple rule we'll use, multiplication is repeated addition. That means 2 to the power of 40 plus 2 to the power of 40 plus 2 to the power of 40 plus 2 to the power of 40 means 4 into 2 to the power of 40. And 4 can be written as 2 to the power of 2 into 2 to the power of 40. I can only use product rule when bases are same. Now I use the product rule where 2 to the power of 2 plus 40, 2 to the power of 40.
Did you understand, children? Can you raise your hands if you understood this? Please raise your hands on the... Oh, ma'am, could you explain once again? I think Sadhana could not understand that.
Okay. So Sadhana, let me again do it, okay, for you. Now this is 2 to the power of, so what is the sum? 2 to the power of 40 plus 2 to the power of 40 plus 2 to the power of 40 plus 2 to the power of 40. So instead of this 2 to the power of 40, suppose we had 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. Can I write 4 times 2? Correct? So similarly, can I write this 4 times 2 to the power of 40? Now how will I solve? What is 4? 4 is 2 to the power of 2 into 2 to the power of 40. Now I apply product rule here. Product rule is only applied when there is multiplication symbol between two numbers.
And the bases are same.
Yeah. Product rule says when bases are same, you can add the power if there is multiplication. So I'm adding the powers. We can't add powers here. We can't add powers here because the symbol
Yeah.
between them is addition.
Now she has understood.
Good.
Let's go ahead, ma'am.
Yeah, let's move ahead. So let's start with first concept that we are going to learn today. It's going to get little complicated, but I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. Exponent of a rational number. So first let's define what is a rational number. Rational number is any number that can be expressed as a ratio of any two integers. For example, 1.5 is a rational number. So 1.5 can be written as 3 by 2, where 3 is an integer, 2 is also an integer. So that means 1.5 is a rational number, right? Now let's see if we have to express in term of exponents. So there are three ways, okay? First is base is a rational number. That means your base 3 by 2 raised to the power of 5. Your base is a rational number. Second is if your exponent is a rational number. We write 3 to the power of 3 by 2. And the third case is when both are exponents, 3 by 2 to the power of 3 by 2. So there are three scenarios. When base is a rational number and exponent is a integer. Here when base and exponent both are rational numbers. And third, when base is a integer and your exponent is a rational number. So we will first touch upon today this and this part. Okay. Is it clear, everybody? Can you put your hands up? Is this clear? What we are going to learn today?
Yes, ma'am. I think it's clear.
The first is when base is a rational number. That means a by b to the power of n. I have given a simple example here. 4 by 3 to the power of 3. In this case, we multiply both 4 and 3, numerator and denominator with power 3. That means it is 4 to the power of 3 by 3 to the power of 3. That is why we write a to the power of n by b to the power of n. Simple. Okay. Anshuman, do you want me to solve a question here?
I think, ma'am, we should give a question to solve. Children, put your answers in the chat box. Yeah. I will chat box, enable the chat box. Please put your answer in the chat box to the question which ma'am is given.
Yeah.
That is minus 2 upon 5 to the power 3. Kindly answer. We'll explain it once again. Please answer this.
I can see answers. Could you please give the definition again? Okay. I'll go back to the definition later.
There is a revision. Okay, ma'am, I think, can you solve this now for people who are not able to understand this?
Yeah, let's solve this. So what is the rule? A by b to the power of is a to the power of n by b to the power of n. So minus 2 by 5 to the power of 3 is minus 2 to the power of 3 by 5 to the power of 3. So what is minus 2 to the power of 3? Minus 2 into minus 2 into minus 2. What is 5 to the power of 3? 5 into 5 into 5. So this is minus 8 by 125. Most of them have given correct. We can either write it this way or we can write minus 8 by 125. Even this is correct.
Correct.
Now let us see the next rule. If my exponent is negative, okay. So if 2 by 3 to the power of minus 2, then what happens? It says, let us see the formula. A by b to the power of minus n. It says just reciprocal. Find the multiplicative inverse of a by b. Multiplicative inverse of a by b is b by a. We just reverse. So b by a to the power of n. That is b to the power of n by a to the power of n. But how did we get this? This is a rule, right? Let us solve this question and see. 2 by 3 to the power of minus 2. We have run negative rule. Exponent to the power, if exponent is negative, it goes to the denominator. So it becomes 1 by 2 by 3 to the power of 2. Now what do we do? 1 by 2 to the power of 2 by 3 to the power of 2. So denominator of denominator goes to
Numerator.
So it is 3 square by 2 square. So it is 9 by.
I hope you
Right?
understood that, children. Can you please raise your hands if you understood it?
Let them do this question. Let's see whether they have understood.
Yes. Can you please solve this question and give your answers in the chat? Minus 2 upon 5 to the power minus 3. You can give your answers in the chat. Follow the basics. Just follow the basics. Most of you have understood that.
Most of them have answered it correct.
Yes,
So I don't think I need to explain it. Most of them have answered it correct. So let's move ahead.
Ma'am.
So
Let's move
they
ahead,
wanted me to revise one. So what we are trying to tell today is two things actually. When base is a rational number and exponent is an integer. The second is when base is an integer and exponent is a rational number. And there is third case where both are rational numbers. But we will do this and this today. We have just done this part. Now we'll do the other part where exponent is a rational number. So let us go to that part. Okay. Okay. Before that, I have a poll with the students. I want them to do this question.
So please follow the basics, children. Solve this in your notebook. Arrive at an answer, and then I will start the poll. Look it very carefully. Recall all the rules of exponent. Something raised to the power 0, what happens? When two are divided, what happens? You need to apply fractions and exponents both here. Concentrate upon solving the question. Okay, I'm starting the poll. Great. Kindly put your answers into this. Okay, last 30 seconds for the poll. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ma'am, I would request if you could please share the answer of this.
Sure. So much better this time. We have seen that students have performed much better. So let's. Do you want me to solve it or just tell the answer?
You can you can tell the answer itself.
Okay. The answer is C.
Okay. The kids,
Most
the
of them
answer is
have got
C.
it correct. Yeah. Most of
Yes.
them, 50% have got it correct. Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Okay, let's
So
go
we
ahead.
move ahead. So we move ahead, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we will learn something called when exponent is a rational number, right? Suppose we have something like 2 to the power of 3 by 2. So 2 to the power of 3 by 2 can be written as 2 to the power of, children listen to this carefully, 2 to the power of 3 into 1 by 2. So if I add a bracket here, I can write 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 1 by 2. Is this correct? Can I write it like this? Right. 2 to
Please
the power
raise
of
your
3.
hands. Please
Yeah,
raise your
please raise
hands
your
if you
hand.
think that
It's
this
correct or
is,
not?
if you have understood this.
This, you have understood this step? Right. Yeah. Thank you. So what is 2 to the power of 3? 2 into 2 is 8. 8 to the power of half. Half. It's a rational number, right? Now, this is where we call it, it is, again, it's a special symbol which we write like this, square root of 8. It's also known as radical. Now let's understand this square root. How did 1 by 2 become square root? Or how can we calculate 1 by 2 of something? Okay. Now let's start with, suppose we have 8 square. 8 square is 8 into 8, that is 64. Now from 64, if I have to get back 8, I have to undo, right? I have to undo what I have done, correct? To undo, I should use a multiplicative inverse. I have multiplied here. 2 is multiplication. If I have to write the multiplicative inverse, what is multiplicative inverse of 2?
1 by 2.
Yeah.
It's like you reverse the fraction. 2, you reverse the
Yeah.
fraction. 1 by 2.
1 by 2. That means 8 into 8 to the power of 1 by 2. So instead of multiplying, we'll have to divide, right? So this is 8. And this is what is square root.
I'm slightly, unsure if I've understood.
It's little difficult. Yeah, it is a reverse operation, right? Let us see. Let us do 25. Okay.
Give me some examples. Maybe I understand that better.
25. Suppose it is like this. So I can write this as square root of 25. 25 is what?
5 into 5.
When I'm squaring it, I multiply the same number twice. When I have to do half of it, I have to make half of that, right? So 5 square is 5 into 5. When 5 to the power of, so 25 to the power of half will be half of this. Half of this is?
Just 1 5.
1 5. We remove 1. What will happen if we have 4 5s? Half of 4?
I will left with 2 5s.
Correct. This is concept of square root. But we will go deeper into concept of square root in the next coming session. Here I'm just introducing what is a square root. So that's why the topic name is exponent and root. Exponent is multiplication, root is inverse of multiplication.
Inverse of, yes. We have a batsman root in England cricket team also.
Right. So let's come to the second concept. First concept we have seen. So again, let us revise. We have seen a rational exponent. We have seen when base is a rational number, what happens. When exponent is a rational number, what happens. Now next we will write, this is a very important part. It is not only used in mathematics, it's heavily used in physics and in chemistry, in sciences. Okay. How do we write a standard form of a number? It's also known as scientific form of a number. Now, there are three rules here. The first rule is the number should be a decimal number between 1 and 10, and it should be multiplied by the power of 10. If these three rules are satisfied, we call this as a standard form.
Please note this rule, children. Please note these three rules. How to convert a number into a standard or scientific form. I want you to please note these rules. They're important.
Normally, a large number, we write it in a standard form so that it is compact. We can see, we can read. So now let's solve a question on it actually. Express diameter of Uranus. It's a number in standard form. Now let's see what is this number. 5, 7. Can anybody write what is this number? 57 lakhs.
5
right?
crore 71 lakh
5 crores.
52,000. 5 crore 71 lakh 52,000. Yes.
52,000. Right?
Yes.
Okay, 5 crores. So now, sorry. Let me again rewrite it. Wait. So 50s. 152. Now we have to write it in a standard form. The first thing is we have to write it as a decimal number between 1 and 10. So I cannot write 57 point something. It should be between 1 and 10. So I have to write 5.7. This is a decimal number which is between 1 and 10. And it should be expressed as a multiple of 10. 10 raised to power how much? How will I find out what is the power? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After 7 numbers, I'm putting a decimal. So 10 to the power of 7. So this is the standard form. Understood? Simple, right? Easy. Now let's do another question on this to understand this little better. Now, this question is very interesting. Okay, it's a real fact. Medical X-rays have a wavelength of 10 to the power of minus 10 meters and can penetrate completely through a human skin. Ultraviolet rays, which causes sunburn by penetrating only top layer of the skin, has wavelength of 1000 times the wavelength of X-rays. Find the wavelength of ultraviolet rays. So we need to find the wavelength of ultraviolet rays. Before 2 weeks, we did algebra, right? It's a simple algebra and exponent question. So wavelength of ultraviolet rays is wavelength of X-rays into 1000 times. So 10 to the power of minus 10 into 10 to the power of 3. That is
10 to the power minus 10 to the power minus 10 plus 3. Did you understand this, children?
Simple it is, right? But there are many practical applications of standard form. In fact, when you do physics or chemistry in grade 11, 12, you only use standard form. Okay. Now there is a poll question. Again, this question is very interesting. What is the order of the oceans from least to greatest? I need you to see this question very carefully. So we have Indian Ocean, Arctic Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, and Pacific Ocean.
There are 4 oceans and their surface area is given in standard form. You have to write from the smallest to the largest surface area. Please see this question, write the answer in your notebooks, and I will share the poll. Hope this is visible to all. Great. Yes. हाँ मैम थोड़ा सा बड़ा बस ठीक है.
Is that okay or?
थोड़ा सा बड़ा कर दीजिए.
Okay, I'll just do it. Give me 1 minute.
Yes, yes, ma'am. अभी ठीक है, एकदम ठीक. Okay, I'm sharing the poll. I believe you would have written this.
Look at the options on the poll and then respond.
Yes, please look at the options and please respond.
Remember from least to greatest, okay?
Read it carefully, children. Please answer it. 30 more seconds on the poll. Everybody, attempt the question. Being right or being incorrect is a secondary thing. Please attempt the question. Okay, last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, most of them
seem to have answered the question correctly. These are the results.
Answer is A.
Yes, that's a simple.
It's a simple question, right?
Question.
So we'll move ahead.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think most of them could answer it, but I found this answer very interesting. Now, the third concept, right? Simplification. Now, what is simplification? Again, simplification and exponents are used so that we find the most compact and efficient manner of expressing a equation without changing the value. Okay. Now, let us find area of a square. Now, this is a square and side is 5x cube. So, what is formula of area? Side into side. So it is 5x cube into 5x cube, right? So it is 5x cube square. So can I write this as 5 square into x cube square?
Yes, ma'am.
5 square is 25 and this is, sorry, x to the power of 3 into 2, 6. So this is, so see in area perimeter also we can use exponents. It's just not on exponents, right? Now let's understand simplification little deeper. We'll do step by step. Now I have actually written down the steps so that you can all see the steps. Okay. This how to solve y cube into y to the power of 5 whole to the power of minus 2. First step is
Start solving. Start solving.
Yeah,
Please take
take
step
your
by
copies
step
and start
solution
solving.
and start solving along with ma'am.
I'll
Don't
ask
just
you
see
which
it.
rule we are using also. Okay. When
Yes,
you're
don't just see it. Don't just see it.
So first step is we multiply exponent when there is a power to power. First step is we complete this part. Okay. So y to the power of cube is in y power of cube into y to the power of 5 into minus 2 is minus 10. What rule did we apply here? We have learned rules, right? What rule did we apply here in this step?
I'm
Can
opening
anybody
the
write?
chat. I've opened the chat. Please put if you remember which rule did we apply.
Which rule did we apply?
Power law. I see
Yeah.
people putting power law. Yes, that is the power law. Very right. Yeah. Good one,
right?
Rohit Chan.
The next step,
Yes.
what we are doing now, we are adding the powers. What is this law? What law did we apply here? We added the exponents when bases are same. What law did we apply?
Which law did we apply?
Yes, very good.
Addition.
Product.
Product. Product law.
And in the third, it was a vital power of -7. So it is a, what law did we apply here? Which rule? Negative rule. Yes.
Okay. Good. I'm so happy you have understood that.
See how we can decode a problem, right? And how do we do it step by step? I have one question for you. This you need to solve. Take out your pen, paper, and solve this question. You have to
Solve this
find out
question
what is the
for
value of
n.
n.
I'll give you 2 minutes. Sorry, 1.5 minutes to solve
Yeah,
this
this may
question.
take little time. Yeah.
This may take some time. So if you attended Jayanti ma'am's algebra classes, this should be easy for you. I was able to solve it.
I see most of the students bending down and solving it. Nice to see.
Yes, please solve it, solve it. Apply the rules. Maths is all about practice and application of what you have learned.
Thirty-two kids who say they have solved it.
Good. So I will launch the poll and you can answer the question. Okay, let's go. Everybody solve it and put it. Parents, please do not help your children. Yeah, we have just half of the children who have answered. Poll closes in 30 seconds. Attempt it. Solve something. Jayanti ma'am will explain it. Attempt it. Solve it. Okay, last 5 seconds for the poll. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing the poll. Ma'am, I think you need to solve this question because not many of the children have answered this. And those who have answered, not many have done it correctly.
Yeah. So look, it's a very interesting question. Let me solve it, right? In the first go, we say why 6 has come. How do we solve for 6? Let's solve this. 49 to the power of n minus 1 plus 6 is equal to 7 to the power of 2n minus 1. 49 can be written as 7 square. Right? Now I can multiply this 7, 2 into n is 2n and 2 into minus 1 is minus 2. Now to simplify, let me get all the 7s in one side and 6 be one side. So I write 6 here and take 7 here. I transpose 7. So this plus 7 to the power of 2n minus 2 becomes minus 7 to the power of 2n minus 2.
Do you remember the algebra class? If you remember the algebra class, you'll know transposing from one side to another, the operator changes. Plus becomes minus.
Right. Now,
1/4.
we will use reciprocal rule, right? 7 to the power of 2n minus 1 is 7 to the power, sorry, is 7 to the power of 2n by 7 to the
Yes.
power of 1 minus 7 to the power of 2n by 7 to the power of, correct? This step is understood. Which law did we use?
Negative.
Now, let us solve this. Out of this, what is common? Let us take out what is common so that simplification becomes easy. In this also 7 to the power of 2n is there. In this also 7 to the power of 2n is there. So I take out 7 to the power of 2n outside. Here 7 is there. Here 7 into 7 is there. So I take 1 7 outside. So what is left here? I have taken 7 to the power of 2n outside and 7 outside. So I am left with 1. 1 by 1 I can write if any confusion. Right? Minus, here I have taken 7 by 2n outside, so 1 is left. And 7 square means I took 7 outside, so 1 7 is left. Now let me solve. 7 to the power of 2n by 7. I take a simple LCM, cross multiplication. 7 into 1 is 7, 1 into 1 is 1, and 7 into 1. Simple cross multiplication. That's it. So 7 to the power of 2n by 7. This is 6 by 7. And here we have a 6. What will happen, children? Can 6 and 6 get cancelled? Because all is multiplication. So what am I left with? 1 is equal to 7 to the power of 2n by 7 into 7 is 7 square. Again, I cross multiply. 7 square into 1 is 1 into 7 to the power of 2n. So I can write 7 square is equal to 7 to the power of 2n. When bases are same, I can equate the powers. So 2 is equal to 2n or n is equal to 2 by 2, that is 1. Right?
So this was a slightly lengthier. It was not a difficult question. It was a lengthy question where we had to apply the rules. I hope you would have understood that and you would have copied all these steps which Jayanti ma'am has done. So Jayanti ma'am teaches us mathematics. And if you wish to learn from Jayanti ma'am, you can join Mindspark live classes, which we are going to tell in some time. So thank you very much, Jayanti ma'am.
Thank you, Anshuman. So today we'll do this till here. I'm stop podcast.
So children, now I hope you remember there was time for parent quiz. I hope parents have also attended the class and they are ready for the quiz. If not, please ask your parents to come and solve some questions for you. We've got very interesting questions for the parents also. So parents and children, you do not need to help your parents, okay? Nobody's going to help you help. Okay. Now, I want parents to solve this question. Thank you so much, Abhijisha. You called your mom to solve this question. So parents, the time starts now. You've got 30 seconds to solve this question. How many squares are in this grid? And you can put your answers in the chat. Time starts now, 30 seconds. Any answers on the chat? I didn't get any answers on
10, 14, 9,
okay, right.
13, 15,
Okay.
16.
Good. Let me just show the answers. Here is the answer. How many of you got this right? Ah, good, Abhijisha, I can see that. How many of you got it right? Okay, so parents, next question. Are the parents ready for the next question? Okay, here we go for the next question. It is going to be the difficult one, huh? And children, please don't help your parents in the next question. Sagat, not at all. You should not help your parents. Okay? Can you answer this question for me? You don't need to struggle alone. Get your parents and ask them to answer these questions. It would be slightly fun, huh? Yes. I can see Anushka pointing camera to her parents. Okay. Very easy question. Just critical thinking required. All right. Can you put the answer in the chat, everybody? The answer to this question. Good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now let's see how did we solve this question. See that it is pretty simple to solve, isn't it? So cat plus table minus turtle, turtle plus table minus cat, height of 2 tables, and we get height of 1 table. So parents, what I wanted to tell you here is any questions in mathematics would require more than one way of thinking. Now, before I go ahead and talk about MindSpark Live classes here, I would want to share the results of the children who had attempted 4 questions while Jayanti ma'am was teaching. So children, let me ask you, did Jayanti ma'am teach well? Can you raise your hands if she taught you well? Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. And parents work with the children, so the children were paying attention also. Still you find there is hardly a question where all children have answered it correctly. Now, this phenomena where immediately the children have been explained something, still they have not been able to answer, is called learning gap. Now, this learning gap always occurs while a teacher is teaching. In spite of teacher teaching well, there is a learning gap. And because nowadays of online teaching, the learning gap increases. So understand, if you are not able to answer certain questions, and if your children were not able to answer certain questions correctly, the possibility is that they would have got some misconception in previous class. Since maths is always interlinked with one topic to another, as you saw in exponents, we are using fractions, we were using algebra, we were using many things to solve one question of exponents. So if in grade 8 or grade 7 child is unable to answer certain things, the possibility is that the misconception lies in previous grade. With the misconception being in previous grade and with learning gap increasing, it is very difficult for a parent to find out what to do. So under these circumstances, Jayanti ma'am, could you please let us know what is the right way to make sure children learn maths well?
Yes, I'm sure. So it's just not teaching because you have seen as concepts get complicated, little tougher, where we have to use more than one rule, one principle, one theory. What is required is a teacher is very important. That's the central part. And here we could see all children absolutely glued to their screen, solving questions. Serious students was sitting on a Sunday evening and solving exponents. but they require different types of questions. If you see the questions that I have chosen, I tried to, within this half an hour, I tried to explain all different types of questions that can have. But this is not enough. Children need to do practice, intelligent practice which expose children to many different types of problems which they solve it. So
So,
I'll show you, in fact, let me share my screen. So we
so,
use MindSpark, which is a pedagogical tool. I'll just share, just give me one. Yeah.
so parents, practice is a very important part of learning mathematics. It all depends upon how well and how different type of questions do you practice. So in MindSpark live classes, wherein a teacher like Jayanti ma'am teaches the children concepts well, we also use MindSpark as a tool to make sure children practice them equally well. Ma'am, can we see the what kind of questions do we have?
Every student gets a username and a password. So this is a demo username password that I'm using. So teacher activates the topic that teacher is teaching in the class, and students practice the same concept that teacher is teaching. Now we have done simplification, right? So let us do some questions on simplification. So students can start doing questions on simplification.
So each child gets access to MindSpark, a tool for solving questions. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
Now this question is very interesting. See, minus is outside. So 2 to the power of 4 is 16. Minus, it will be minus 16.
So you have to solve it. You can't just click ABCD always.
Correct.
And there is an explanation given.
Yeah, for every question, whether right or wrong. Now, minus is included so that the student knows what it is, right?
Minus was outside bracket, now minus is inside.
Now minus is inside. So it is 4 into 4 into 4.
64.
What happens if I write?
64.
Yeah, so minus 64, but okay, let me write the correct. Let me go ahead. What happens if I write minus? We can just try that also. Now
so see, there are two different, the parents, the point here, children, the point here is every step you would get a different kind of question and solution of that question, so that you are not, you are getting different exciting forms of exercises for complete understanding.
And difficulty level is increased slowly.
Difficulty level increases.
Yeah. So again, now it is the product rule, right?
So slowly you see question solution. Now you have got questions which are of multiple choice with a proper explanation. And then you get questions which are difficult, HOTS, higher order thinking skill.
Higher order thinking. Suppose I say...
I understand that, ma'am.
So it goes on like this.
Yes. I get it, ma'am. Can we go ahead?
Yeah. This is one topic. Do you want me to show any other topic?
I think that's enough, ma'am. We've understood how MindSpark Math does. Haven't we understood, children?
Right. But even teacher gets her own interface. Teacher can see what children are doing. Where are they going wrong? How like I can read mind of each and every child of my class, seeing their personalized learning path, and design my lesson plan accordingly. Modify my lesson plan. I'll just show you.
So under normal circumstances, parents and children, every child gets similar kind of questions to practice. A child here get different kind, every child gets a different questions. Every child has got a different path of learning, and teacher can make sure that teacher goes ahead and helps every child at an individual basis also by using this report which Jayanti ma'am is showing.
So I can see each child, why is Abir's percentage 74? I can go to his trail as a teacher and see what he's doing. I
I
can
get
see
it, ma'am.
all the mistakes that he's making.
I get that, ma'am. I get that.
I can see how much time he has spent on each question and what mistake is Abir making.
Right, ma'am. Let's go on.
Yeah.
So parents and children, that's how we practice using MindSpark. Now, telling about, there are so many ways where the children are learning at this point of time. Most of the ways are fixed videos ways, where same content is being delivered to each child with the main focus of completion of the course. With very less parental interaction and no individual attention, I'm sure the online classes add a lot of stress along with the learning, and they are very, very expensive. So MindSpark live classes, which we are having EI, they basically have a very small batch size of 1:20. So personal attention for every child. We have teachers like Jayanti ma'am, and we have practice tools like MindSpark Math, who give instant remediation, doubt clearance, and of the previous grade also. And all these things, weekly, monthly test, report discussion with parents, comes at fraction of the cost. So all the big organizations, Harvard, JPAL, World Bank, have endorsed MindSpark Maths. So let me tell you, how do these live classes work? So these live classes, the entire schedule is for 24 to 26 weeks. Okay. And every week there would be 2 1-hour classes that are going to be taken by the teacher to teach the concepts, and then there would be intense practice sessions every day over MindSpark, so that the students can learn the concepts and make them permanent. We cater to all the boards from grade 3 to 10. As discussed, we have highly qualified teachers. We use Zoom and MindSpark as the platform. All you need to have is a laptop or tablet or a smartphone with an internet connection. So with all this teaching, unlimited practice questions, games, worksheets in MindSpark, children prepare better, and I promise you there is no fear of mathematics which is left for the kids. Parents, you get detailed weekly and monthly reports, and you get a child who starts loving mathematics and becomes a self-regulated learner. Now, talking in terms of price, MindSpark Math 24-week live classes and practice tool for 52 weeks. It is 700 rupees per month, which is 8,400 per year. However, for all the participants on this webinar, we are having a 20% off, and the classes are 6,740 per year with 560 rupees average a month. Now we have like 16 batches have started. For grade 7 and 8, we have 17th batch starting this week. For all the international students who we have, the price is 125 US dollars. However, all the facilities are the same as for Indian students. What you have to do is you need to go to www.mindspark.in, click on purchase MindSpark, and the site is going to guide you how to register for live classes. Our team is also going to call you from tomorrow to help you understand further how MindSpark live classes work and to help you to sign up for live classes. Okay. I'll just repeat the price for MindSpark live classes is 8,400 per year, which is 700 per month. However, you get a 20% discount. So the price comes down to 6,740 per year. You need to go to www.mindspark.in to register for the Mindspark live classes. Believe me, there's a lot of learning without any stress, and you learn a lot. So the forum is open for questions. You can put your questions on the chat. I would try to answer all the questions. If I'm unable to answer the questions, you have an email ID below, harit@ei-india.com, and you have a mobile number on which you can send the chat. For any questions, if I'm unable to answer, please put your questions on the chat. Please put your questions on the chat. Chat is opened. If anybody has got any questions, please put that on chat. If you want to write to us, Mindspark is there for English and Science. It is for English, definitely. Yes, you do get recording of this session. There is live recording on YouTube. You can get it. So we have maths and English as of now. Oh, I'm so sorry. We have got these webinars. There is no free live class. Yes, we have online classes, these webinars every Sunday. Of course, this is a webinar, not a live class. In the live class, we go much slower than we are going right now. Last class link is in the chat in the beginning. Depends, the webinars will continue or not. No, this I talked only of science, of mathematics. English and science are separate. So class timings are usually from 4:30 to 5:30 and 6:30 to 7:30. We have days from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 2 days in a week.
English Mindspark is LSRW, all listening, reading, speaking,
Listening,
LSRW skills.
speaking, writing, and reading. So it will contain grammar, Kushal. If I've missed any questions, please write it to harit@ei-india.com, or you can send a WhatsApp or an SMS, the number given below. So thank you very much, children. I'll be here, and parents. I will be here for 2 more minutes. YouTube, this channel, the recording as it posts on YouTube. Yes, depends if there are children, we can have classes in morning. Yes, it is 6740. Correct, Sudeep. No, it is only maths price of 6740 for the entire year. It is not for English and Science. Webinars usually happen on Sundays. So usually the classes are in the evening. So thank you very much, children. If I'm unable to answer any questions which I have missed, please write back to us. You all have a great evening. Thank you very much for attending. All of you have a pleasant evening ahead. Thank you very much.